3 months after the wedding, Edwin and Hilda have finally given a formal at-home to celebrate their marriage.
What's this shawl? I've never seen this shawl before. What is it?
Oh, Edwin, what an old fusser you are. What shawl?
Someone must have left it.
What a precious thing. It's Mrs. Fern's. She must have forgotten it when she put her jacket on. But I had no idea how good it was. Genuine old. I wonder how it would suit me.
Come here, Chit. Let me look at that shawl.
Did I disgrace you tonight?
How foolish you are.
Well, that's what they came to see, you know. They came to see the great Mr. Clayhanger's wife. What do you think they thought?
Oh, I don't care what they thought. I know what I think.
What if the Benbows never speak to us again?
Why shouldn't they?
Well, after all that commotion. Because they thought Bert was lost, and all the time he was in the next yard praying for a penknife with George.
Perhaps they'll never find out.
I should think that Albert finds out everything.
At any rate, their prayers were answered. They got the penknife.
I like Miss Dinkpen.
So do I.
What were you talking such a long time to Johnny Orgreave about?
Talking a long time to Johnny Orgreave? Do you mean at the front door? Why, it wasn't half a minute.
What was it about?
He happened to mention a piece of land down at Shawport. I had a sort of notion of buying.
Buying? What for?
Well, supposing I had to build a new works.
New works?
Yes. I've been wondering whether I shouldn't build a new works.
Never told me anything about it.
Well, I've only just begun to think of it myself. You see, if I'm to go in for lithography, as it ought to be gone in for, I can't possibly stay in the shop. I must have more room, and a lot more. And it will be cheaper to build than to rent.
But why go in for more lithography?
You can't stand still in business. You either go forward or back.
Seems to me it's very risky.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, you need a lot of capital anyhow.
Well...
But you can't possibly know that it would succeed.
I have made some calculations.
You never mentioned it to me, I'm sure of that.
Well, there was nothing to mention. I've told you that.
Whose land is it?
What?
The land you are considering
It
buying.
belongs to Tobias Hall's estate.
Oh, I've no doubt they'll be pleased to get rid of it. Who told you about it?
Johnny.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Of course. He would design the works. It'd be a very good thing for him. I'm not surprised he suggested it.
He didn't suggest it.
You said he did.
But I asked him if he knew of any land going cheap.
Anyone could get the better of you.
Oh, could they?
Of course. All your family say so.
All my family? Where do they come into it?
Never mind.
I do mind. What do they say?
We're all right as we are. We spend too much money, but I dare say we're all right. If you go buying a lot of new things, we may lose all we've got, and then where shall we be?
Well, we shall see.
Naturally. If you've made up your mind, there's nothing more
I've
to
not
say.
made up my mind. Don't I tell you I've only just begun to think about it?
Must just go and see whether George is asleep.
What bosh. She knows perfectly well George is asleep. You know nothing at all about business. Nothing at all! You've ruined any business you've had to deal with. You've no rights to judge and no grounds for judgment. It's evil of you to think like that of the Orgreaves. I'd never have met you if it hadn't been for them. And where would you be now without me? Trying to run some wretched boarding house and probably starving. That's where you'll be. Anyone can get the better of you. All your family says that. Do they? What do they know about it? Let me tell you, I'm one of the most common-sensed men in this town, and everybody knows that. Except you. I was clever enough to get you out of the mess. I wish you wouldn't talk such infernal rot. Other wives don't interfere in business, and you shan't. And let that be understood. Will she come and kiss me?
Good night.
Good night. She's no right whatever. I must say, I'll never bargain for this. What are you doing this afternoon, George?
I thought I'd go up to Manor Fields.
What goes on at Manor Fields, then?
I'll get a game of cricket there. There's usually a game during the holidays.
Will Bert Benbow be there? Does he play cricket as well?
Never seen him there.
Oh.
Don't suppose Uncle Albert would let him. You know what he's like.
Ah, come along, old son. None of that now.
I only wondered...
Your Uncle Edwin's quite right, George. You mustn't speak like that about his relations.
Sorry.
His relations? What does she mean? They're our relations.
Ah, Ada, we've just finished, thank you. Come on. Oh, Edwin, would you like a little more meat? There's plenty left.
No, thank you. I've had quite enough.
Quite sure? Ada can easily fetch
No,
some.
thank you.
Thank you, Ada. You may clear.
You sure you wouldn't like some more, George?
No, thank you.
Now, dear, you know perfectly well that if George wanted some, he would ask. Thank you, Ada.
Come on.
Oh, Cook was asking about the refreshments, Mum.
Refreshments?
One's left over from the other night. Should she keep them still, Mum, or throw them out?
Ada, in this weather. No, throw them out.
Yes, Mum.
Hey, then let's get rid of that lake.
Oh, do leave it alone. It's only a spot. What wouldn't I give to be able to really play the piano? To be a world-famous pianist. How wonderful that would be. Why do people marry? Why did I marry him? Because I love the look in his eyes.
Read this.
Which? I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth.
Fine, isn't it?
Magnificent. I must read more of Whitman.
I've got that tune quite right, you know.
Oh?
Where are you? Show me.
What does he know about it? He can't play the piano.
Where's the confounded place? At the end you play like this. Whereas it ought to be.
So it ought.
That bit of tune's been running in my head too.
Does it mean he won't build those new works now? Or is he just trying to pacify me?
Well, it's nearly 3, quarter day's coming along. I'd better be off and earn a bit towards Mag's rent.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't talk like that.
Why not?
Just wish you wouldn't.
Anyhow, the rent has to be paid, I suppose.
And I wish it hadn't. Wish we didn't live in Maggie's house.
Why?
Just don't like the idea of it.
You're sentimental.
You can call it what you like. But I don't like the idea of it. I don't feel as if I was at home, no. I don't feel as if I was at home.
What a kid you are.
You won't change me.
I wish you could like Mags a bit more than you do.
Well, I don't see what that's got to do with it. She has never liked me very much, nor George. For some reason or other, she never has.
I'm sure that's not true.
You know it is.
Oh, no. She's a bit dull, perhaps, is Mags, but she's absolutely the right sort, you know. Anyway, it isn't as if she lived here with us. We do only rent the place from her after all.
Do you know what I've been thinking? Suppose you were to buy the house from Mags. Then it would be ours.
What price the mania for owning things? Would you like me to?
Oh, yes, I would. I've thought about it such a lot. Then you wouldn't have any rent to pay.
How true. But it would stand me in a loss, because I should have to pay too much for the place.
Why? Why should Maggie ask too much just because you wanted it?
Maggie won't ask any price. Only I couldn't decently pay her less than the value she took the house over at when we divided it up. You know, she took it as her share of what Father left, and the value put on it was £1,800. It ain't worth that. I only pay £60 rent.
Well, if Maggie took it at too high a value, that's her lookout.
Not at all. She was a fool. She let Albert and Clara persuade her. It was a jolly good thing for them. I couldn't very well interfere.
I think it's a shame that you should have to pay for what Albert and Clara did.
I needn't, unless I want to. Only if I buy the house, £1,800 will have to be the price.
Well, I wish you'd buy it.
Would she feel more at home if he did?
Yes, she would.
And suppose Mags won't sell?
Will you allow me to mention it to her?
I don't mind.
Well, one of these days, I just might.
I must go.
Now, he will have to give up the scheme of building the new works if he uses the capital to buy the house. When I talk to him in a certain tone, or look at him in a certain way, I can do just what I like with him.
Good afternoon, Sewer. Good afternoon. Is Mr. Clayhanger about by any chance?
Well, Mr. Clayhanger's in compositing, sir, but I do say as though he won't be a moment. Can I be of service, sir?
Oh, I don't think so, thank you very much, but I'll hang on if I may.
As you please, sir.
How many horsepower is she?
Well, just the one, sir.
Really?
Yeah, just the one. When she's at her peak, she'll drive that machine to 20 copies per 60 seconds. Every 60 seconds, 20 copies, sir. I've known us to lift 5,000 in an afternoon.
That's good going.
Well, it seems to us as how it is, sir. That is, of course, when she's at her peak.
Oh. Oh. Afternoon, Clayhanger.
Hello, Mr. Ringpen.
I've just been hearing all about your steam engine.
Ah, James, this is Mr. Ringpen. Mr. Ringpen, Mr. Yarlett.
I'm pleased to meet you, I'm sure, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Yard, and I'm pleased to meet you,
Mr.
too.
Ringpen is the new district factory inspector.
Oh, is that so? With your permission, Mr. Clayhanger, I shall return to my business.
Right you are, James. Thank you.
Sorry to bust in on you without warning, old man.
Oh, that's all right. Do you want to look round?
Look round.
Round the works?
Oh, I see you were thinking I was here as a government official.
Well,
Oh, no. I just happened to be driving past, and I thought I'd drop in about that music.
oh!
Not quite sure when I shall be getting round to you professionally. You see, we have to do the pot works once a quarter, but then the other factories only once a year. Not enough, really, but then there are only so many hours in a government day. Can I prop this jigger over here?
Yes, of course. How did you manage bicycling back after the other night?
Oh, I enjoyed it no end. Spent the time working on my theory that it's the proper use of the ankle that does the work, not just huffing and puffing as bicycling, you know. I slept like a lamb and woke up like a bull. Very pleasant evening you put on over there.
Well, my wife put on.
Yes. Oh, yes, of course, her as well. Perhaps you're two of those suited to married life.
But you're not.
Oh, good heavens, no, you know my theory about women. Should be behind the veil. Oh, here's the reason for the visit. Suggested program for the musical evening.
Oh, good.
Still settled for Sunday week, is it?
Good Lord, yes, I should say.
What do you think?
Well, I'm no expert, you know, but it seems jolly good to me.
Well, give her something to bash and scrape. Will you get a chance to show it to Miss Orgreave?
I'll make sure I do.
Give her time to get over her modesty. And she and I can rehearse at the end of the week. What's that?
Polishing shop for the stones. Lithography, you know. The artist works upstairs in what was our drawing room, but we've not the spare for all the polishing equipment there.
Ah, and whereabouts is the famous floor?
Sorry?
Oh, don't you be modest now. I hadn't been working in these towns a week before I was told that story, you know.
What story?
The wonderful schoolboy who saved the machine from crashing through his father's floor.
Oh, I wasn't a schoolboy.
Hardly more, as I hear.
I scarce remember it now.
I'll tell you one thing. Everyone else does. Where was it?
In the printing shop up there.
Oh, machine's still there, is it?
Still there! Oh, that floor's been safe for donkey's years now. Father put props in to give it support. The ground floor used to be a baker's storeroom, but we've taken it over as our compositing shop.
Oh. Well, there doesn't seem to be an entrance. Is there a staircase inside?
No. As a matter of fact, there's not. We have to go out through the gates down the street. The entrance is just around the corner, you see.
Well, it's no business of mine, as long as it's safe.
Oh, yes.
It hardly seems the shortest distance between two given points. Why did you just bash a hole through the downstairs wall?
You're quite right, of course. I keep meaning to. But somehow, when you've managed for years and years...
I wonder if they said that before they invented the wheel.
And the other thing is, I'm building a complete new works.
New works? Are you really?
Oh, yes. Starting from scratch. Getting out of here. Something completely new.
It's still secret, then?
Quite between the two of us.
Oh, still secret, then?
Not secret, not exactly secret. Oh, it's quite decided as far as I'm concerned. But nothing's been finalised yet, so it's best to be cautious about saying too much. Affects land prices, that sort of thing.
Oh, you can rely on me. I shan't breathe a word. Good to hear it, though. Could you hear that someone's striking a blow for industrial sanity?
Well, you can't go on in conditions like this.
Well, you'd be surprised to know how many people think they can, and you should see the outraged expressions where I have the nerve to lecture them. What's it got to do with him, they think? Why shouldn't the workers roast all summer and freeze all winter in a shed? They wouldn't put a dog for the night. Humanity? What's that got to do with it? Efficiency? What are you talking about? I make a profit, don't I? That's the important thing. I think that's what really staggers me. I mean, I can understand that they don't give two hoots for welfare. Well, I damn their attitude, but I can understand it. But when they won't see that by improving things, they'll get more work done and make more money for themselves, and I just throw my hands up to the sky and cry out to the gods, stupidity.
Yes! I'm with you. Every word.
I mean, there are certain things I can make them do, but not enough, unfortunately. Employers have got to take a risk. Not that I think it's a risk. If you've got a decent business, it's a certainty. But whatever you call it, they've got to make a move if life's to be worth living at all. So the long and the short of all that talk is, Clayhanger, I congratulate you. When you're making a start.
Oh, as soon as I can.
Good.
Tell the truth, I'm gonna pop out to see some land this afternoon.
Are you really?
Oh, yes. And I'm quite hopeful, too.
Thank you, Ada. Don't quite know what time I shall be back.
No, Mum.
Of course, I shall be back for tea.
Oh, yes, Mum. She's safe! She's safe! Did you hear that blasted tune she kept playing?
Blessed tune.
Over and over again, the same blasted tune. I bet she only did it to madden him.
Of course you did.
Come on, let's go on the swing.
Why shouldn't I? I asked him if I could mention it, and he said I could. So why shouldn't I?
You've come. Of course. When Hilda came round to my place, I was just setting off to come round here. So you brought Hilda with you. I'm so glad you did.
I'm afraid I didn't know it was Bert's birthday party.
No. Well, now I do so want to explain that to you. Oh, bless me, we are grand. A new suite? Well, I never. We are grand. Do you like it? Do I like it? Oh, I do, Clara. Oh, yes, I do. It's, well, I just cannot find words. Don't you like it, Hilda?
Yes, I do.
And that stool? Well, is it a stool? It's a milking stool. A milking stool? Well, I never. Well, they're all the rage now. Oh, yes, I'm sure. Oh, it's beautiful, Clara. A milking stool. Do you like white paint? I should say I do. White paint? Oh, well, I never. White enamel paint. It's the latest paint. Oh, yes, I'm sure. White enamel paint. Well, whatever next. Do sit down, if you'd like to. Well, if we may, dear. Well...
It was on display in Nixon's window, and it had the price tag on. It's just like sitting in Nixon's window now.
Oh, it's most comfortable, Clara.
Do you think so?
Oh, yes, most comfortable. Isn't it comfortable, Hilda?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good.
Higher purchase, I expect.
I'm so glad you've come. As I say, Clara, I was just setting off when Hilda called. I should by rights have left, I know. I insisted that Maggie came out on time, but she was so fussed about the Greengate jam that I stayed for a bit and stood over Maria. I'm sure Maggie didn't want us to come out at all, not while the jam was on the stove. But I told her the girl could manage, and I hope she can. Oh, she'll manage the stoning, I dare say. But you have to look after them all the time, or they always forget to stir, you know.
Oh, yes, I know.
Anyway, as it was Maggie that Hilda called to see, I thought it was best to bring her round here.
I'm so glad you did. That's why I suggested we came into the drawing room, Hilda, so I could explain how it was we didn't ask George. I was afraid you might be vexed.
What an idea.
To tell you the truth, we've had a lot of trouble with Bert. Albert's been quite put about. It was only the day before yesterday that Albert got the truth out of him. About the night of your at home, Hilda, when he ran away after he'd gone to bed. Albert said to him, I shan't whip you, and I shan't put you on bread and water. Only if you don't tell me what you were doing that night, there'll be no birthday and no birthday party, that's all. So at last Bert gave in. And do you know what he was doing? Holding a prayer meeting with your George and that boy of Clouds next door to your house down Hutton Street. Did you know?
Did you ever hear of such a thing?
Yes. And Bert's story is that they prayed for a penknife for George, and it came. And then they prayed for a bicycle for our Bert, but the bicycle didn't come. And then Bert and George had a fearful quarrel, and George gave him the penknife. Made him have it. And then he said he'd never speak to him any more as long as he lived. Well, Bert wanted his birthday party, of course, but he begged and prayed us not to ask George. So in the end, we decided not to, and we let him have his own way. That's all there is to it. And George has said nothing. Not a word. And that Clowes boy is so little. Here's the penknife. Of course, Albert took it off him.
Why?
It's not Edwin's penknife, I suppose.
Oh, no. Never seen it before in my life. Why?
We were only thinking perhaps Edwin overheard the boys and threw the knife over the wall. It would be just like Edwin, that would.
No. Sure he didn't. I thought all you folks believed in the power of prayer.
Shall we go and see how the party's going along?
Now I'm about to cut the cake for Amy's second slice. Through the icing, through the marzipan, through the cake and through the fruit. Now then.
Here we all are then. Everything going on all right?
Away one. Hello, all you aunties.
Albert, dear, what a lovely time I can see they're all having. You manage these things so wonderfully.
We all have a good time, jolly good time. Everything under control. Hello, Hilda.
Hello, Albert. Hello, Maggie.
Oh, Hilda. Happy birthday, Bert.
Thank you, Auntie.
Now, children, say hello to your aunties, Clara.
Hello, Auntie. Hello, Auntie.
Amy.
Hello, Auntie. Hello, Auntie.
Lucy.
Hello, Auntie. Hello, Auntie.
Hello, my dears.
And this is Flossie.
Flossie's the child of Clara's music mistress. You know Mrs. Hamps, don't you, Flossie?
What a lovely child you are, Flossie. What a lovely child.
And this is Mrs. Clayhanger.
How do you do, Miss Clayhanger?
Hello, Flossie.
Now, where are we going to put your aunties to sit? There's Rupert's place here. Rupert is asleep in the day cot in the corner. Too much excitement, I should think.
Oh, I just squeeze in anywhere, Albert. There. Oh, thank you, Albert. That suits me just fine. Oh, I must say, this tea looks wonderful.
Hilda, will you sit over here?
Oh, I'm sure Clara's sitting there.
Oh, no, I shall fit in anywhere. You take that one, Hilda.
Allow me, Hilda. Ah, there we are then. Now, where was I?
My cake, Dada.
Oh, yes, Amy's cake.
Not too much, Amy.
Oh, your mother's right, just a thin slice, Amy.
And what a regular man Bert looks. What a regular man in his spectacles. Yes, that's the first time you've worn them. Oh, I must say they look very smart. They were his birthday present from his mother and father. Aren't they wonderful?
Well, the oculist said he'd have to wear them, so I said to Clara and to Bert what an original birthday present they'd make.
Ah, they do. Oh, yes, they do. I'm sure you're very grateful for them, aren't you, dear? Yes. Oh.
Now, you'll have a slice of cake, won't you, Auntie?
Indeed, I will, Albert. I know Clara's cake. Just a small piece, mind.
Cake, Hilda?
Yes, just a little piece, please.
Will you pour Auntie and Hilda some tea, Maggie?
Now, tell me, Bert, what other presents did you have?
He had a comb from Clara.
My word, did you now? A comb from Clara.
Comb from Clara, a handkerchief from Amy, a ruler from Lucy, and flowers from Rupert.
Oh.
Cake, Auntie.
Thank you, Albert. Doesn't this look beautiful cake? I can't wait to try it.
Cake, Hilda. Yes, he gave Amy one of his flowers, didn't he, Amy?
Oh, wasn't that kind of him? Wasn't he, Juice? Now, I must try this cake. Oh, Clara. I don't know when I tasted such cake. I don't know when.
I'm so glad you like it.
I should say I do. Now then, Bert, shall we see what we've got in here? Now. There.
And
I say.
half sovereign.
I say.
Look there then, Bert. Look what Auntie's given you. Then what do you say?
Leave him alone, Mother. He'll say it all right.
I'm sure he will. Thank you, Auntie.
What a good boy he is. Oh, he's a wonderful boy, Clara. You must be proud.
Here you are, Bert.
Oh, look at that then, Bert.
What a lucky boy you are.
A half sovereign and now 2 half crowns as well.
That is from your Uncle Edwin, and this is from your Auntie Hilda.
Well, I say, Bert.
Well,
Now, what do you say, Bert?
You'll say it all right, Mother.
Thank you, Auntie.
And Uncle. Don't forget him.
Thank you, Auntie and Uncle.
and what are you going to do with all that money, young man?
Oh, he's going to put it in the savings bank, aren't you, Bert? They've all got savings accounts, you know. Even little Rupert's got his account, and it's earning him 2.5%.
Shall I take it for you? And then we shall go together tomorrow and put it in the savings bank. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Oh, what a good boy he is. He's such a good boy.
Place, Father. Can we go and play in the garden now?
I think they might. Go and play nicely.
Quietly now. Quietly.
I thank God that you've got such lovely children. I can't tell you how often as I thank God for that.
So you haven't finished your green gauge, Auntie?
No, she hasn't. She left it to the tender mercies of that Maria. She wouldn't let me stay, and she wouldn't stay herself.
Well, I wasn't going to have my eldest grandnephew's 12th birthday party interfered with for any jam.
Here. That's all very well. But she'll never stir it enough, I know she won't. And we've got to leave her to stone it. She'll spoil the old panful, I know she will.
They're having a jolly good game. Quiet but good, that's the way of it.
Oh, she will.
I hear you're going to have some musical evenings, Hilda. On Sunday nights.
Oh, who told you that?
Never mind. I heard.
Yes, we are having a little music on Sundays.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I suppose I should be getting on with my dictionary reading. I'm only at S, and there's bound to be a lot of words under U, beginning with un, you know. Well, I saw it once there would be.
Oh, Albert's quite taken up with missing words nowadays.
Well, as soon as I saw it wasn't gambling. It isn't gambling, Auntie, I'm quite sure of that.
Well, I should hope it isn't.
I'm sure it isn't. It is skill and it's science. That's what it is. If you do it properly, you know, right through the dictionary from A to Z, no way to go wrong.
Do you see how Rupie's getting along? Poor little dear. Do you know?
What have I got in common with these? Edwin might have something, I dare say he has. But what have I got? I've got an illegitimate son whose father's in prison. And here I am, sitting in the middle of these. They all resent me. Because I married Edwin. And because I want music on Sunday nights.
He'll play a bit.
Well,
He'll stop. And in a
I
few
resent
minutes
them.
he'll sleep. I think
I loathe them.
run down.
They imagine they're married.
I wonder why Amy wouldn't play with
What
him today.
passion have they ever known?
Amy's imagination is really remarkable.
Do I dare mention buying Maggie's house? In front of all of
I
them?
wrapped his face up for him and it did look
What would they
sweet.
say?
So sweet, I didn't want to take it off.
Afternoon there, Edwin. Hello, Johnny. I was just, as a matter of fact, I was on my way to your office.
Oh, really? Jolly good. Well, I saved you a walk then.
Off somewhere, are you?
Oh, no, weathered one wait. Was it about the land?
Yes. I thought I'd drop in for a chat about it.
Well, I was half expecting you the day after the at home you said you might.
Yes, I've been a bit pushed, though.
Well, as I said to you then, I don't think it'd be wise to leave it too long. That's if you're interested, of course.
Oh, yes, I am. I'm very interested.
Well, look, why don't we stroll up and see it this afternoon?
This afternoon?
Well, why not? I could show it to you now. I think I can cancel my other appointments.
Oh, yes, jolly good.
Well, why not then? After all, you're not committing yourself just by seeing it, are you?
Oh, no. No.
Come on then.
What do you think of the new suite, Auntie?
I've showed it to her, Albert.
Oh, did you, dear?
I think it's really lovely. I truly do, really lovely.
I got it from Nexon's.
Oh, did you really now?
Would you care to try sitting on the milking stool?
The stool's not really for sitting on, Albert.
No, dear, I was only... have the armchair, Auntie. It's very comfortable.
I know, it's so comfortable.
Do sit down, Hilda.
Thank you.
Oh, my word, it's close today. There. That'll blow some of the stuffiness out.
Won't Rupert catch cold?
Oh, he's got to be hardened, Rupert has. Fresh air, nothing like it. Does him good to feel it. And how's the great man getting along?
Edwin? Oh, he's fine. He's working. He said as he went out that he must go and earn something towards Maggie's rent.
Edwin will have his little joke.
I suppose you wouldn't care to sell us the house, would you, Maggie?
Sell it?
Indeed, I should. I never wanted the house. Only it was arranged I should have it, so of course I took it.
Sell it? But you've got a very good tenant, Maggie.
Oh, she's got a very good tenant, admitted, but she'd never have any difficulty finding a very good tenant for that house. That's not the point. The point is that the investment really isn't remunerative. Maggie could do much better for herself than that. Why, if she went the right way about it, she could get 10% for her money. I know of things. I bet she doesn't get 3.5% clear from the house, not 3.5.
Oh, you mean the rent is too low?
Oh, no, I don't say it's too low, but perhaps Maggie took the house over at too big a figure.
And whose fault was that? Whose fault was that? You and Clara and Edwin settled it between you. You yourself said it over and over again. It was a fair figure.
Well, I thought so at the time. I thought so at the time. We all acted for the best.
No, I'm sure you did. I should think so, indeed.
Is Edwin thinking of buying then?
Oh, we've discussed it.
Because if he is, he ought to take it over at the price Mag took it at. If she oughtn't to lose on it, that's only fair.
I'm sure Edwin wouldn't do anything unfair.
Hadn't we better be going, Auntie? You know quite well that John stands a good chance of being ruined.
Oh, I suppose we had.
I dare say it'd be a good thing if Edwin buys the house. From all points of view, a jolly good thing. I'd no idea it was in his mind, but now...
Edwin!
Edwin, well, Edwin, we were just speaking about you.
Hello, Edwin. We are glad you've come.
I just happened to remember it was Bert's birthday, and as I was passing...
Well, we're pleased you did. I didn't hear the bell.
No, I was from the back. I saw the children in the garden, and I came in the back door.
Well, we're glad you did. Jolly glad.
Oh, I didn't realise you were here, Hilda.
Elsa came to see me, and I brought her round. We're so glad she did.
We were just off home. Aren't you coming, Auntie?
Let me look at Edwin, child. How set you are.
Then I shall go alone. I'm sure it's coming on to rain.
But what about this house business?
I can't speak about that now, Albert. I must see to that John.
Goodbye, Clara.
What's a mess with her today?
Goodbye,
I'd better be going or I shall catch it. My word, I shall.
Goodbye, Auntie.
What house business?
Oh, I like that. Aren't you trying to buy a house off her? We've just been speaking it over.
Oh, have you?
It's a pity. Maggie went off like that. You might have been able to settle everything immediately.
Why on earth did you go talking about it without telling me first?
Maggie was there. I just happened to mention
You
it.
went down on purpose to tell her, so you needn't deny it. Did you take me for a fool?
No, of course I don't take you for a fool. I assure you hadn't the slightest idea you'd be so annoyed.
Yes, you had. I could see it in your face when I came in. You go blundering into a thing without the least notion. Without the least notion. Good evening, Carl.
Good evening, Mr. Clayhanger. Madam, I have finished the block for Mr. Smeetser.
Oh, good, Carl. Good night.
Good night, sir. Madam?
Who's he?
He's the artist in my lithographic room. His eyes are bad and he works all day in a room too dark and too cramped for a dog. I've told you before and I'll tell you again, I will not have you interfering in my business affairs. You make my life impossible. All you women are the same. You will poke your noses in. There'll have to be a clear understanding between you and me on 1 or 2 points before we get much further.
But you told me that I could
I
mention it to
didn't.
Yes, you
I
did,
didn't say you
Do
could plunge
be
right in
just.
at once. These things have to be thought out. A house isn't bought like that. A house isn't a pound of tea and it isn't a hat.
Very sorry.
No, you aren't. You know jolly well you aren't. Your scheme was merely to tie my hands.
Will you mind if I go to the stall to get some fruit? Chocolate. Pound of plums, please.
Pound of plums.
Well, I don't see what I've done to deserve all this. What does it matter if it's mentioned now or in a month's time? It doesn't matter at all. And now he wants to tear me limb from limb. It's just not possible to be angry with him. Too comical for that. I've certainly married an astounding man.
Panic 5 farthings.
I'm much wiser than he is about this sort of thing. And I've got what I wanted.
Farthing change.
Please don't walk so fast, Edwin. I can't keep up.
A nice thing you let Maggie in for.
Maggie in for?
Albert ought never to have known anything of it until it was settled. He'll be yarning away to her about how he can use her money for her, and what he gets hold of she'll never see again. You may bet your boots on that. If you'd left it to me, I could have fixed things up for her in advance. But no, in you must go, up to the neck, and ruin everything.
Oh, you look after Maggie, all right. Are you going in there now? It's just on tea time. Why don't we go up together? Take the tram. What a relief it is to be here after Clara's.
Mum?
Is Master George back yet?
Yes, he's in the garden.
Are his clothes ready for school next week?
Yes, Mum.
Thank you, Ada.
He hit his shin, Mum.
His shin?
With a cricket ball. Don't think as it's hurting, but it's black and blue.
Oh, what have you done to it?
Nothing, Mum. He won't let me.
Ah. Well, thank you, Ada. I shall see to it myself in a moment. Thank you. I am the mistress of this house. And without the mistress, it would crumble away.
Edwin?
What is it?
Poor dear. We're in love. I'm yours, and you're mine. Life is wonderful, and I'm happy, can't you see? But each is for himself in this world. The same in marriage as in anything else. Kiss me.
She won't get round me like this. My mood can't be altered just by...
Mr. Allgrave, sir.
Very brief stop, or I shall get no tea. You're both to come to Hanbridge, to the theatre tonight. Janet and I are going, and you're both to come and keep us company.
well...
Oh,
do let's go.
Of course you must come, it's all settled. Well, now you must be on the first car that goes up after 7:15. No more to be said. You understand, Teddy? The first car that goes up after 7:15.
All right.
See you then.
All right. She's going to be late. I know she is.
Now then, let's have a look at this bruise.
It's nothing.
Now then, missus, here's the tram.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
How it really is a very pretty garden. And she's good to these, which would be seen.
Only the poor acts are on first.
I don't think any of it's poor. I love all of it. Well, come on, let's go in.
Very well, Mrs. Clayhanger, just as you say. It's Elizabeth.
Double go
Jimmy's
my
wife.
shoes, thanks all
Jimmy
the same.
here?
I
Yes,
don't
that's
need
me.
you to tell me when to go
Shall we just
home.
go?
Yes, come on.
I shall sit here until my husband comes. Don't go have another drink, please.
I think I'd better go and see.
Can't serve you with another drink,
Why not? That's what you're here for, isn't it?
Hello, Elizabeth.
Oh. Well, what a surprise. Did he send you that?
No, we were just going into the theatre.
Oh, well, don't let me spoil your evening. He's damn well spoilt mine.
Is Jimmy here?
Does it look as if he's here?
Lady's husband was here, sir.
Oh, well, of course he was here. How do you think I got here? Now he's blasted run off if you want to know. I don't know what it's got to do with you.
Look, why don't you let us get you a cab, Elizabeth?
Why don't you let us get you a cab, Elizabeth? Am I showing you off?
No, of course not.
No, I should think not. Well, if I am, not more than so.
Look, Elizabeth, I do
At
think...
any rate, at least Jemmy is married to me.
Elizabeth.
And when does Mr. Chris Hampson get back from Australia? It'll make quite a difference to you when he does.
Won't you please let us take you home, Elizabeth? I'm sure Jimmy will be worried about you.
Worried about me? Well, if he's worried about me, he can come and get me. He's never worried about me. He wouldn't have walked out if he was worried about me. Well, the next time he does it. Just the very next time. Oh, it's so humiliating, that's what it is.
What time did the lady's husband leave?
About half an hour it would be, sir. If you'll excuse me saying so, he'd had one or two himself.
I don't know why he married me. I don't know. Oh, why the blasted hell does anyone get married?
Come outside anyway. You'll feel better outside.
I want him to come back and fetch me.
Come along, Elizabeth.
Will you come with me?
Of course I will.
Oh, God. Oh, he'll be so angry with me, I know he will. But I don't blasted care. Oh, stop gawping at me, will you? I don't blasted care.
You two go in. We'll join you later. We'll just pop around in a cab. It's not far from here. I'm sorry about all this.
No.
What was that about Mr. Chris Hampson?
Not quite sure.
So I seem to know.
Luke, shall we do what he says and go in?
Poor Travis.
Yes. Mind you, Jimmy's always been a bit, eccentric.
Well, you could tell it wasn't all her fault.
Oh, no.
By the way, I put your offer for the land in the post.